everybody, it's Grandma Sheri. I'm so excited to talk to you again, speak to you this week. We have just entered the month of February, and to me, it is a sacred time. My birthday's in February. I love February. I love winter. I know some of you are wanting to turn me off right now as I speak because I love winter. It's been snowing today. I love that, and I understand if you don't, but it's my birthday month, and I love the fact that I came in on a wintry day. I love February. I love everything about it, and I really love a Valentine's Day. I don't know about you, but we've been celebrating Valentine's. I've been celebrating Valentine's Day ever since I was a kid. My parents would do something special. The first one I remember was really cool. It was a snowy Valentine's Day, and they gave us sleds, and it was the year, I guess I could probably figure this out, but I think it was the year that the Susan B. Anthony coin first came into circulation, and my dad worked at a bank, so we all got a Susan B. Anthony, I think that was $1 coin, and that was so special because it was the first time I had ever heard of her, because I was, 7 or 8, something like that. And I didn't know anything about suffrage or anything, and so that made a really lasting impression on me. However, that was not romantic love, but that's a Valentine's Day I remember clearly. And then, you know, in school, always making your Valentine box, getting to be creative as you decorated this thing, and then you pass out Valentine. So I think Valentine's to me is so much more than just this romantic thing, because it obviously has a lot to do with creativity for me. So every year I make Valentines and I send Valentines. I send probably as many Valentines as I do Christmas cards. Valentine's Day has become something that is, you know, very commercialized. It has a very intended audience, and some feel that there's some pressure in that if I don't fit that mold of having a romantic love on Valentine's Day, that somehow there's a deficit. But I want you to know the truth about Valentine's Day, which is kind of hard to get to because Saint Valentine lived in the 200s AD. So there's lots of information about him online, but some of it is contradictory, and it's really hard to get to the truth. The truth probably is that he was a physician of some sort who later became a priest. He lived during the rule of Claudius, I believe, one of the Roman emperors, and I don't remember which one it was, 1 or 2. At the time, though, he wanted more soldiers, and so he had outlawed marriages. He felt like soldiers were distracted if they had a wife, and he just wanted soldiers that were willing to, you know, they had no other attachments. Story goes that Valentine was still marrying people even though that had become an illegal activity. And maybe that's the truth. He was imprisoned, and while in prison, and they also say that what we know of Valentine might actually be a couple people kind of composite some of the different stories from this one person, that one person kind of merged into one legend or story. But as the story goes, he was imprisoned. He became friends with the jailer who had a daughter who was blind and needed like tutoring, schooling. And so the jailer would actually bring his daughter in, and Valentine would teach her. It came to, one of the stories I read said, you know, even Claudius really liked Valentine and didn't want to, pass judgment on him. So he gave him the opportunity to save his life. But he said, you'll have to behave as the Romans do, and you'll have to get rid of this, your Christian beliefs, to which he said he would not. And so he was martyred. He was probably martyred on February 14th, maybe. That's some of the information I read, but he was killed in 270 AD. So, like, who even knows? Like, well, someone might know. I don't even know. If that's really the same day as the day we celebrate each year, I'm not sure. However, because of his death, because of his willingness to marry people, and because prior to his death, he wrote a note to his young, the jailer's daughter, his young friend who he had been tutoring, and in doing that, she was healed of her blindness and she was able to read it herself, and it was signed, "Your Valentine." So those are some of the stories. Then in the 1700s, Valentines actually started to be printed. They often used Cupid, who is a Roman god of love. So even though Valentine was a Christian priest, like, all these legends kind of get rolled in, and it becomes this culture that doesn't really reflect Valentine anymore, because the first Valentine was to a friend that he wanted to continue to encourage in her faith and in her walk, if that's a true story. But Valentines are now marketed to the romantic side of love, and there's lots of different aspects of love. There's lots of different kinds of love, and romantic love is just one, and it's lovely, but it's just one. There are several different types of love that are special and important, and romantic love is just one aspect of that spectrum of love. So I just want to encourage you to make Valentine's Day what you want it to be. It certainly happened in our culture. They made it what they wanted it to be. It's come a long way from Valentine healing and teaching and spreading the gospel to it meaning some romantic thing. For me, it's an opportunity to encourage others. It's an opportunity to express my appreciation, to show love to all kinds of people. So every year I make a list, and this one is about 45 names long. Some of these are people that I serve with, or I work with, or so we have a lot of young people in our lives. So I'm going to send Valentines to young people just to encourage them in what they're doing. And there's several widows on my list that are amazing women that are into their 90s, who have just lived such faithful lives that I just want to remember. And this day doesn't have to be about romance, and no one's less than if they don't have that in their life. I promise you. I can also say I understand wanting that in your life, and so I'm not trying to belittle that, but I just want you to be encouraged this Valentine's Day. Every year I make Valentines, and so this year some of the ones I've made all kinds of different things. I usually use my Cricut and I cut things. I like this one because it's wintry and I love winter. I was born in February, so I love playing in snow. But he's got a heart on him. Flowers. I love flowers any time of year, but flowers at Valentine's Day, that's always a big push, and flowers are beautiful. So every year I make Valentines. I send probably the same amount of Valentines as I did Christmas cards, maybe more. And it's not about romance. It's to just people I want to encourage. I want them to know that I do have love for them. And so I hope this Valentine's Day, you can make it what you want it to be. you can make it however you want to celebrate. I hope you see some love. I hope you share some love. I hope you're encouraged. I think if there's anything that we need right now is some encouragement and love. We've, really been dealing with a lot of stuff in this last year, and as the pandemic continues, it's been hard. It's been hard on me. I'm sure it's been hard on all of you, and so this is a way to send a little bit of sunshine somebody's way. So I really enjoy doing that. I hope this is a little bit of sunshine for you. Know that I really appreciate all those that view. I want you to be blessed and encouraged this Valentine's Day, and know that you are special and you are enough in who you are, and you have a lot to share. So thank you for listening. If you'd like to write a comment, I love hearing from you, and I would respond quickly, but know that I think you're all very, very special, and that I hope you have a great, loving Valentine's Day. Remember to like and subscribe, and be blessed.